Hey guys, welcome back. This video is going to be a little different than usual. I kind of wanted to get some inspiration from my current survival world, so I decided to come back to an old SMP server that me and my buddies Chief Cheesy and Gunker played on. There's a lot to this world, and I'm going to try to show off everything, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, let's just get right to it. So this insane storage room was made by my friend Chief. We actually have quite the map wall here. We built out this world pretty far, as you guys can see, so we have storage for just about everything here. Some stuff is mixed, and some map art. And if you guys know what this is from, you're a G. Behind here we have our nether portal, which we'll get to later, but we also have an armor room and our enchanting room, just little things to hide in the base. And then when we leave here, we have a nice staircase up. So coming out of here, there's just so much. We spent a lot of time in this world. If you guys can see this right here, it is day 12,500. 21 days I spent in this world. Now some of that is AFK, of course, but it is too much time. I think I'm just going to try to show off the big ticket items because, you know, there's so much in this world. This is one of our first builds here. This is like a little ice castle I built, and in terms of the scale of other builds, this was definitely really small. It was going to be a spleef arena, but I never finished it because we just started working on bigger projects. This might be one of the biggest projects that was mostly built by Gunk. It is a large, large sheep. Like, I'm talking, this thing is massive, bro. If you head inside and fly on up, we have a massive sheep farm with, I believe, 4 of each color that is just constantly producing wool. Like, we have so much wool here. You can see I am obsessed with cactus farms, indeed. Probably wondering where I sleep. My buddy Blake logged on the server very early on and built this house. Did not play much after, but this is his creation. I ended up building a pretty massive dock here with a little boat. We're not really using a boat here, but, you know, just adds to the vibe of it. To the left here, we have the industrial district, which compromises of a lot of farms. This is an iron farm that was producing a lot of iron for all the beacons you see throughout the world. Although this is actually my design right here. This is one of the things I'm pretty proud of. I built a concrete converter. Every time you would place a concrete here, it gets pushed in, and then it gets fed over by pistons into this blast chamber. All these colors right here, you could produce. We have our tree farms here. I'm not really going to show them off, but this is for the nether trees. This is just for oak and spruce and whatnot. And it supplied a lot of the chests for our shulkers in this world. And we also have a lot of bonemeal farms around, or farms that utilize bonemeal, my bad, like these tree farms here. So we built one of IO Mango's moss farms. We'll try it. It's gonna be loud here. It bone meals the grass, and then they keep getting pushed over into composters, fed into the bottom here, and then they auto feed itself all the way up top. Also, this is very laggy, but if you guys can see this here, it just keeps on feeding around, filling these dispensers that are for the bone meal, and then it drops all the way down here into this item stream and goes right into these chests. Yeah, you just saw one go in there. Everything's being composted constantly, and I don't know if we have way too much bone meal. All of these are things that I definitely want in my world at some point, but it's going to take some time. We already have a cactus farm, thankfully, but this is probably something that you'll see pretty soon here in our world, just because we're getting villagers and whatnot. I have a huge, large-scale sugarcane farm, and it produces a lot of sugarcane. Speaking of technical Minecraft, I got pretty obsessed with like the ideas of flying machines and building my own. So I kind of made my own design of a world eater here, and it's slime blocks that just push a TNT duper across, and then it comes back, and it does it over and over again. This definitely is not the most efficient. As you guys can see, there's some floating blocks around in the void here, and it doesn't push itself down, which is a huge deficit, but it was like a huge pushing point for my redstone knowledge, and I've been learning more and more, and hopefully we can do some cool stuff like this in our world too. So if you cross this wonderful bridge, I think this was built by Chief. I built this. I kind of like the palette here. Some of the red is a little outstanding, but I made a little potion farm here that you basically just put the ingredients that you need up top and it auto feeds them into the bottom so we can be an invisible floating man. Right next door, if we follow this path here, start to see one of my absolute favorite builds. We built a PvP arena. There's a way to load up here, give yourself some armor. So if I step onto this, you guys will see I get fully equipped with a knockback 2 wooden sword on the inside. There's no real good way to get out yet. I was originally going to build a contraption up here that drops the players in, but we would just count down and jump on in. There's 3 levels here, so there's this top layer where you can fight. There's some secret little vines to jump on and you know whatnot. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. We have a second layer here that's more like desert themed. Little jumps around too. I can't make that jump anymore. There's honey here to kind of break your fall. We have the bottom area with lava. More parkour jumps, and then there's a way to get over here. So you can technically make a 4-block jump over the corner, but there's also this hard jump if I can do it. Oh, you can tell I don't do parkour. Oh my god. Dude, we're just cheating our way out of here. If we walk through this little tunnel here to the left of our potion brewer, we have a big old village that we made. I think a lot of these guys got turned to witches, sadly. Lightning strike or something. Some fishermen, whatnot. I think we even have some butchers here. Rich. There's so many individual buildings, and I kind of want to do something like this in our world where, you know, we have a trade for each villager and they each have their own building. Shout out to my favorite villager in the village, this Fletcher named Bosco. This guy's like OG, one of the first. Then if you head up top here, there's actually a library that we made with most of the essential trades that you could get, and that's the plan for the current library that you guys see in my world. Then we have a tunnel that kind of takes us to the I would call this the downtown. I'm not sure, but it's downtown. We have a lot of bigger scale buildings here in our village. My buddy Chief has spent a lot of time in this village actually, and he built a prison. Even have like a warden's room and whatnot. A lot of themed builds here. We have a nice church here, pretty huge. We used to play hide and seek in this world, which was like super fun just because we had all these like little things to hide in, and little tree farm over here, sawmill or whatnot. I thought this was pretty cool, using these blades as like an actual saw blade. If we head over here, I wanted to start making some shops, but we never actually used them. But this is a little concrete shop that people could come into. This is a great hiding spot for hide and seek. We even have a police station here. Of course, if you have a prison, you gotta have the police station. We even put some like pretty nice builds just like overlooking the village too. I always wanted to put villagers up here to let them like move into or whatnot. I never really lit up this house, so like when you would walk in here, there would always be a creeper. This is actually this is actually a villager breeder here. So the villagers would just drop down and the babies would run out, and they were just taking over all the beds in the village, which was pretty cool. Now at the world build limit, I made a little spleef arena here with some golems that you could use for snow. There's a way you could like, yeah, there you go. This has silk touch obviously, but you know, it's a great way to get snow. And then you play in here, we would count down, get knocked down obviously. There's a second layer, which I thought was pretty fun, and then this is where you would fall. And we would always make the rule where you couldn't wear armor and whatnot, so you just die. My buddy Chief built a little trident farm here, which actually linked up to the nether where we would collect our iron. As we fly into view here, my buddy Gunker's base pops up, and I think this is just like one of the most immaculate builds. We spent a lot of time on this, and you know, You should be really proud of this because it's sweet. There's blackstone, deep slate, all mixed together to make this like really cool dark palette. Got some horse stables and whatnot. Some nice, really nice paths going around the village. Some farms. This is like a speed calculator to show you how fast you're running. I built this for him. But I'm at speed 5. But this was to test all the horses to try to breed like a really, really fast horse. I'm sure you guys want to see this in its full glory. But this is his main tower, which I thought just looked absolutely beautiful. I mean, you come in and you fly in, and this is just like such a staple. We have such a cool like tower looking build with chains holding it together, and of course jump beacons, because who doesn't love jump beacons? This build is super cool. We even have some like housing over here, little apartments and whatnot. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget? There is something even cooler about this base. You'd think it's all above ground, but no. Bunker spent a lot of time down here making these canals, and they were leading underneath his base here. I think the final thing I'll show before we go to the nether is this, I built a little graveyard over here, and then Chief was working on this little road that was going to connect to the industrial district, more of like a highway. Before I go on here, I just want to say this is maybe my most proud part of this server. I spent a lot of time on this solo, and it's something I want to do in our single player world too, because it's such a cool thing to do. It's such like a cherry on top for a world, is to have a sick nether hub. So immediately we come through here, we're at this big drop. These beacons load in, and we're inside of our nether hub. And I just wanted to make it feel really grandiose. It does feel a little empty in my opinion, but just having something on top of the nether roof that connects everything is just super cool to me. I even put the cardinal directions in the ground. Another thing to note about this is everything's either on like a half slab or it has spawn proofing on it, because I had a problem for a while where gas just love to almost like blow everything to smithereens. There's not an ice road in every direction. I don't think we ended up doing that, but some of these are lengthy. That's an understatement, as lengthy. Like, I think I built one that went like almost 2,000, 3,000 blocks in one direction. You know, we had all these themed roads showing where things were going, magma farms, but I think if we go down here, I'm not exactly sure what this is. Oh, this is the witch farm. Yeah. So Chief and T-Bone spent some time making a witch farm here. This is actually to the end. So one thing I also like to do is just build a nice room around the ender portals. It's just like, I built this before we actually even went in, so nobody had entered the end once. And I built this whole thing around it, and then we all jumped in together. I needed concrete, so I built Rayworks design here, and we had a little sand duper. There's not really anything noteworthy in the end. We never built anything there. It's pretty sparse. If you come right here, we have a huge honey farm. And when I say huge, I mean it. Like, these are all filled with honey. Yummy, yummy honey. It's been a while getting these bees in here, but it worked out really well. And we used honey for a lot of like flying machines and whatnot. Oh, there it is. Thank God. I thought I actually lost it. Yeah, if you can see this is a huge farm here. And it's a piglin farm. So if you stand up here, the only thing that can spawn are piglins. And it's going to be loud for a second, but they just pour on you. So if you're standing here, you can mend all your tools. And then over here we have all the rotten flesh. There's so much gold, it's crazy. And then I would put some of that gold in here. That would trade with these piglins. And yeah, we'd get a bunch of loot down here too. Hopefully I don't get lost here. Wow, I hit this portal so well. No freaking way. We made some map art, and it's hard to tell when you're just like standing on the bottom, but if you zoom out here, we came to a big ocean. We used a map art generator in Schematica, and we built the 2001 Thanksgiving Day halftime show for the NFL, I believe. It's Creed giving a performance, and it's like one of the most funny things to watch. And we thought we would immortalize it forever in Minecraft. So let me know if you guys would like to see some map art in our world. And with that, that's where we're going to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this world. I'm really going to use it as inspiration for our survival world, and maybe we'll even start another SMP. Who knows? It might be in the works if you guys have kind of enjoyed this. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.